Hey, what's up guys? Phil here from Inspire Fitness. So today we have a new series for you guys. We got bento boxes. We're gonna be making some of your favorite foods into bento boxes. So today we have a Japanese inspired bento box. We got 3 different dishes today and we're gonna show you how to make each and every one. It's gonna be really fun and yeah, let's get into this guys. So in today's recipe, we got the first part of the Japanese bento box series. We got tamago and rice balls. The ingredient list will be down in the description below, so make sure you get everything before you start this recipe. Up first, we got 4 eggs. We're going to be using 2 of the egg whites and 2 of the whole eggs. We got 2 tablespoons of salmon furikake. It's going to add a little bit of protein but a whole lot of flavor. Then we have 4 to 5 cherry tomatoes. We got a little bit of each of carrot and green onion for the eggs. And lastly, we have water and rice. The water is going to help out getting that rice to those spherical shapes. So what's great about this recipe is that it's pretty simple. There's not much to prep here, which, when you usually meal prep or make bento boxes, there's so much prep that goes into it. So all we have to really do for this recipe is cut up a little bit of carrots and a little bit of green onions. And this is what's going to go inside the egg. It's going to add a little bit of color and a little bit of texture when we eat those eggs, so they're not just kind of boring and have one kind of texture. So up next for prep, we're just going to be cracking some eggs into a bowl. We kind of messed up here. We put 3 whole eggs in there with 2 egg whites or with 1 egg white. So for you guys, make sure to go for 2 whole eggs and 2 egg whites. What that's going to do is going to add a lot less fat and add way more protein because of the egg whites. So to season, we got half a teaspoon of salt here, and we got 1 teaspoon of mirin. So what that's going to do is add a lot of sweetness. And then we got the veggies that we cut up from earlier. We're just going to kind of mix it in here. So this is kind of a mixture of Korean style and Japanese style. Usually Japanese style doesn't have any vegetables in it or any added protein, but for Korean style we want to put some nice fresh vegetables like carrots or onion, and what that does is it adds a lot of crunch and a lot of good texture with some freshness to the dish. So this is probably going to be the hardest part about making this dish. Well, one, you kind of need this pan, this kind of square pan, to make the tamago look into perfect kind of rolled shapes. And so what we did there was put 1 tablespoon of oil in here, and this is really important. We want to get like a little paper towel and kind of dab it off, and you want to make sure that we're using minimal oil and kind of making sure that all the sides are lubed up as well. So now that the pan is lubed up pretty evenly, you just want to put enough eggs where kind of the whole pan is coated in eggs. We kind of needed to put a little bit more, but that's totally fine. It's going to take a little bit of time to cook this anyways. So the eggs cook pretty fast here. It's going to take maybe around 1 minute for one side to fully cook. What my mom advises here is to use a kind of like spatula and chopstick mixture here. So with one arm, you want to get the spatula and roll it, and have the chopstick arm kind of support that roll and flip it together with one kind of motion there. So you want to do the same process here, kind of rinse and repeat, but except for this step, you're going to kind of flip the omelet over the the uncooked eggs and kind of keep layering on the tamagos until you kind of see that it becomes like this one big omelet here. So now it's pretty simple here. You just want to cut lengthwise and you just want to kind of imagine what that Japanese egg kind of looks like. You've seen it before. It's kind of layered, and it's going to be really awesome because this step really reveals the layers of kind of the egg that we made. And yeah, it's going to be nice and sweet and a little bit of savory here. So now it's time to make the rice balls. This is a pretty simple process. So we're going to be using salmon furikake here. Maybe around 1 tablespoon is totally fine. Remember, this stuff is pretty salty, guys. So any more than 1 tablespoon we found is kind of overkill because the eggs are salty, and salty on salt doesn't really work out here. So yeah, just want to mix that in thoroughly, and it's going to put this awesome orange kind of color into the rice. Now that the rice is made, it's pretty simple here. You just want to kind of get maybe like a handful of rice and kind of squish it from hand to hand. Make sure to use some gloves because this can get a little bit oily, and then just kind of squish them from hand to hand, tossing it from each hand. And my mom's secret here is to use saran wrap and to kind of like squeeze it into that classic ball shape. So that is really it for the preparation and the cooking. So much of Japanese cooking has to do with presentation. If you ever been to Japan and kind of got a bento box, it's so pretty and it's so well decorated. So we kind of wanted to emulate that in this dish, and we wanted to put all the vegetables in the right places. They tend to put their carbs on one side and the protein on the other side, just to kind of make a split between kind of differentiate what's different about the dish. And so I think that adds like a really good contrast to the dish. So the fun part about this, if you guys do decide to make this at home, is that you can plate it any way you want. Just kind of order these bento boxes. We'll put the link in the description below. They're pretty cheap. I think this was like $12 for like 3 of these, so it was a pretty good price for them. And yeah, you just want to kind of present it any way you want. We kind of chose to put the carbs on one side and the veggies along with the carbs, and just kind of fit the holes with like the cherry tomatoes, and it kind of worked out perfectly here. So you end up with this really beautiful dish. It's high in protein, low in carbs, low in fats, and it's perfect for on-the-go meals. So just letting you guys know that this is part 1 of a 3-part series. We got 2 other meals here. The first is going to be a salmon dish. We got salmon with furikake rice and eggs and cherry tomatoes. The second one is going to be a sandwich dish. We got katsu sandwiches, plus we got the egg sandwich from Japan with yakitori meatballs and cherry tomatoes. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting to show you guys this one. And if you guys tried it out for yourselves, please let us know how it went and try to decorate it, kind of something that's unique to you guys. It'll be awesome to see what kind of dishes you guys make. So if you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe and let us know kind of what you guys want to see next. And yeah, we also have a blog about Asian food and how to eat healthy, so make sure to check that out at aspirefitnesswalnut.com. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one.